All bets are off. I'm Rebecca Lieb.
I'm Jason Horton.
And this is Ghost Town.
The only statement that I am making at this time is we did have an explosion, as everyone knows, and there's been moderate damage done to the east side of Harvey's wagon wheel. We were attempting to render the device safe. We had a procedure that we felt would work. There was some error factor in that procedure. We knew of the errors that could be made, but due to the circumstances that were confronting us at the time, we had to make the decision. Not only were we involved, there was many people involved. I'm not going to mention them all. The management and the owner of the property was involved in the final decision, and it was a decision made that we had to take a chance. We did, and the device went off.
On August 26, 1980, 3 men delivered a large box to the second floor of Harvey's Wagon Wheel Casino in State Line, Nevada, located at the south shore of Lake Tahoe. Inside the box, a $3 million ransom note and a 1,000-pound bomb. Are you in? Are you with us?
Ooh, this is sexy. This is sexy. I can feel it. I love it. I love a ransom note. I love a bomb. And I love a casino, baby. Let's get started.
That's a holy trinity for you. We're talking about the Harvey Casino bombing of 1980. I said I made good on my promise. I was like, more crime.
More crime.
More crime.
Okay, more crime just in time.
True crime, but a different kind of true crime than some people are accustomed to.
That's good. That's good.
And this one, my brother turned me on to. My brother Tim.
Your brother is the coolest.
He's really good. I think he knows what works. And I think, especially also for Strange Year, he kind of knows, like, oh, this is weird. You might like this. And then I take credit for it, and he gets nothing. Good. He gets absolutely nothing.
Perfect.
Just like this.
Yeah, well, you know.
Ghost Town featuring Jason Horton and, I don't know, somebody.
Hi!
Nope. 3 men dressed in workers' jumpsuits, wielding a large box the size of a copy machine. Seems like a copy machine.
That's a size I can relate to.
I don't know what that means. They use the side entrance of the casino using a service elevator to the second floor office. You know, we're not in Las Vegas.
No.
We're out of Vegas.
We're Tahoe territory.
We're Tahoe, which
I'm not even sure, because at first when you said this, I was like, oh, is this one of those casinos that's right on the border of Vegas? Because those are very depressing looking. Yeah. But this isn't even that. This is a Tahoe. This is up.
Tahoe adjacent.
Yeah. On the way to skiing, perhaps. Yeah. I don't know. I ski all the time.
Ski bunny. Right? Is that the
Yeah, that's what they say. Just a sexy middle-aged tired ass.
I've seen 80s movies. I know what you're talking about. So, you know, Vegas is obviously, even in 1980, very filled to the brim with a lot of moving parts, a lot of different casinos, I'm sure the mafia. Mm-hmm. And so right now we have sort of kind of a isolated casino and a great place to hit when you want money, and not the way they want you to win the money.
Yeah, no.
And they do want you to win, they say.
That's what they say?
That's what they say. That's what they told me.
You gotta believe them.
Yeah, as I went to the ATM machine, they were like, no, we want you to win.
Yeah, huh, all right.
So it looked like an office copier, so nobody really thought anything of it. And it's to an office, so they're like, great, it's a copier. Except when they found that it was not, it was actually a bomb. And I guess what threw them is there was a makeshift IBM drape over it, like a crude IBM,
like
and I guess
tarp that was cut and it had like a little IBM logo on the side of it.
I think it was like a hand drawn IBM.
Yeah,
thing.
A hand turkey with IBM in the center.
But think in 1980, like logos, like the IBM logo wasn't like, I've seen the IBM logo so many times. This is definitely a fake. This probably was enough to throw people off. There's like, I don't care. I'm just doing my job. I'm tired. I'm working like the, 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. shift or something like that.
Yeah, that's a rough shift.
But it came with a 3-page letter.
3 pages?
3 pages.
Morning pages are 3 pages long. Is this someone's morning pages?
No, this is a 3-page warning letter. Oof. It's a stern warning to the management and bomb squad. And they demanded $3 million in unmarked, unbugged, and chemically untreated $100 bills. Oof. Then the men left in a white van. 20 minutes later, manager contacted casino security after noticing the broken locks and the large box.
Broken locks, large box.
Remember
Clean
that.
bills, people.
So here is part of the stern warning to the management and bomb squad.
Oh, yeah. Hit me with that warning.
Do not move or tilt this bomb because the mechanism controlling the detonators will set it off at a movement of less than 0.01 of the open end Richter scale. Don't try to flutter gas the bomb, Rebecca.
I just did it.
Well, no, you shouldn't have done that. You're in trouble. There is a float switch and atmospheric pressure switch set at 26.00 through 33.00. Both attached to detonators. Do not try to take it apart. The flathead screws are also attached to the triggers. As much as 1/4 to 3/4 of a turn will cause an explosion. In other words, this bomb is so sensitive that the slightest movement, either inside or outside, will cause it to explode. Warning, Rebecca, I repeat, do not try to move, disarm, or enter this bomb.
God, I'm so bored of this letter. I'm a writer, okay?
Yeah.
So
jazz it up.
I think we can cut that down a little bit.
They were like, we really want the money. We don't want the place to explode. It wasn't a case of we have a vendetta against people. Mm-hmm. We have one against this casino, and we'll find out who and why. Yeah. Saving that for a little bit later.
Ooh,
that's almost
treat for
a
later.
Separate story.
That's a little fat-free pudding for me. I'm putting it in the fridge.
It's actually maybe a little more interesting than this part of it.
Whoa. Yeah. I can't wait.
That's why I'm doing it in this order. Also part of the letter, if exploded, this bomb contains enough TNT to severely damage Harris across the street. This should give you some idea of the amount of TNT contained within this box. It is full of TNT.
Just P.S.
Yes.
There's lots of TNT in there. P.S. You thought I was joking, but there is more TNT than you. TNT is explosive.
Did you write this letter?
P.P.S.
Were you in it? It is our advice to cordon off a minimum of 1,200 feet radius and remove all people from that area. Demands. We demand $3 million in used $100 bills. They must be unmarked, unbugged, chemically untreated.
Ugh, they want used bills.
If we find anything wrong with the money, we will stop all instructions for moving the bomb. Signed, Happy Landing.
Happy Landing. Who are you? Wow. So, I love a good moniker, like a little mysterious fake name too. This reminds me a little bit of DB Cooper, which I was just reading about, where it's like a lot of specifications and kind of a similar aim and way of communicating.
Well, DB Cooper was supposedly successful, right?
Yes.
In theory. I mean,
true. True.
But in theory, he is successful. As far as anyone knows, the lore is he is successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
This case is, well, we'll see the way that it goes, but it is very unique, very interesting, and I'm surprised more people don't talk about it based on what I'm going to tell a little later on. So this is from Damn Interesting. This is the graveyard shift supervisor at Harvey's. Quote, I don't think it belongs here. That was the assessment of Bob Vinson. So we refer to a nook just outside the telephone equipment room, the employees' only portion of the second floor of the hotel. The it was a curious piece of equipment of unknown origin loitering.
Yeah, like a weird tarp with a fake IBM logo. Congratulations.
In a cramped side room, it was a metallic gray box about the size of a desk, with a smaller box attached to the top near the rear right corner of the front face. The smaller box was an incomprehensible control panel by 28 metal toggle switches, which is really kind of bonkers to look at because all the switches are in one direction except for one. So
that is the creepiest thing you've said all during this episode.
I was looking at some photos and I was watching a lot of video and listening to some interviews, and just looking at that photo, it almost looks like art. Like you may see it like the Metropolitan Museum, like modern art.
Yeah.
It had that kind of very, what's the word? It has a kind of almost like a very sterile, mechanical, but beautiful.
Yeah.
Because, we all go in everyone goes in one direction except for the one person who goes against
It's
the
a
grain.
social comment.
Yeah. They're like, no, this is just
It's ominous.
This is
No.
just the technology of which this bomb explodes.
Yeah, but also like the danger of just like that one is clearly definitive and important. Don't fuck with it.
They were in 5 neat rows labeled with a numbered sticker. All of these were situated in the down position except for number 23,
Oh boy.
which was toggled up. So you know what 23 is.
Ooh, my age?
Illuminati. I think it's the Illuminati email. It's Illuminati23 at gmail.com.
23 at Earthlink. Wow.
That's what they probably should use.
That's what they should use for sure. Earthlink is probably cool again. 23 and me? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You just swapped yourself to the Illuminati. So 600 or so hotel guests and staff filed into the parking lot, having been told to exit the building due to a, quote, security emergency. The device itself detonated 33 hours after a failed attempt to neutralize the triggering mechanism. This was about 3:43 p.m. in front of a crowd and media coverage. It blew a 5-story hole in the 11-story building. No one was injured, but the photos are amazing. The video, I encourage people to check out how powerful it is. No one was hurt.
But also like a 5-foot hole in an 11-story building, that must look insane. Yeah. I can't wait to check it out.
You know what I want to check out? A little break.
Okay.
Today's episode is sponsored by Payoff.com. You've tried balance transfers and budgeting, but high interest rates and unrelenting bill cycles make it almost impossible to get out of credit card debt on your own. Instead of another new savings technique, you need a clear path out of debt, and that's what a payoff loan can do. A payoff loan is a personal loan backed by member-centric credit unions designed to help you pay off your credit cards. With rates as low as 5.99 APR and loan amounts up to $35,000 with no hidden fees and personal customer service support from Payoff to help you reach your financial goals. Some of the benefits of a payoff loan may also include potential credit score boost, 1 monthly payment, and savings from lower interest rates. Go to payoff.com/ghosttown to learn more. Checking loan rates won't affect your credit score. Try something new. Pay off your credit card debt with Payoff. NMLS ID number 1396805. Not all applicants may qualify. Loans only available within the United States. Loan is not available in all states. Payoff works with lending partners who originate the loans. Additional terms, conditions, and eligibility requirements may apply. More information is available. Go to payoff.com/ghosttown.
We have an upcoming episode on hometown haunts, and we want to hear your stories.
We do. We have a really exciting episode, and we would love to have more participation from you guys.
We have some. We definitely have some.
Yeah.
We'd like a little bit more.
Yeah. And so we set up a hotline. It is called a hotline. I will never not call it a hotline. And that is 877-804-6856. 877-804-6856. It will direct you to an answering machine. You will leave your story, your hometown haunting, or you can leave a comment, whatever you want. We're lonely. Just leave it for us. And then we're going to try to get an episode together with a lot of the stories that you've shared.
And if it's something that you wanted to share, but you didn't want to be included and maybe you wanted us to read it, just let us know. We don't want you to feel beholden to anything.
Yeah, really, we'd love your first name and where the haunt is from, just to give everyone a little bit of context, but it's whatever you feel comfortable with.
I hate to get political right now. I do. I don't.
Yeah, you hate this.
This is my least favorite part, but we
yes.
have a new mayor. And then there were 4.
But I like it. This is my favorite type of mayor. When they go for a lower Patreon, they get addicted and they can't get enough. And then they're like, I have to be mayor. I have to be mayor.
Ben Forsyth. Cool dude. I figured out he loves Avenged Sevenfold based on his email. So we were talking some shop.
Ooh.
I'm good.
The boys talking shop.
Yes, the boys. It's like just a grown man talking about, a band that's like way below his age bracket, but I like him. And I asked him, I was like, Ben, is there anything, you want me to mention? Do you have something you want me to shout out? He said, nothing I can think of, but thank you for making the podcast.
Polite, appreciative, don't fall in love. But you are the mayor, so you can do what you want.
Well, we don't know what's going inside politics with Brandon Gaddis, Chris Witt, Paige Cornelius.
That's right. Paige is a newbie too.
Yeah.
Is this going to be
She's already running things, I can
old
tell.
guard versus new guard,
She's
though?
already running things.
All right.
And then also our Patreon is patreon.com/ghosttownpod. Bonus episodes. I love the newest bonus episode.
Yes.
It's one of those where I was like, ooh, I really want this to be a main episode. But I was like, yeah, this is just for us weirdos.
Yeah.
So it's patreon.com/ghosttownpod. We do preview episodes where we take out all the ads and banter like this, like you're listening to.
Yeah, you don't like this.
And I have a nice message on Apple Podcasts. Nice review, rate and review. Thank you so much. I want to read this one. It was very kind. Here's two. This one is from MD3243. Awesome. Was browsing new podcasts, found this one. It's amazing. Already listened to a bunch of episodes and look forward to each new one. You guys are great. We get a lot of messages saying people binge. I mean, that's what people do with podcasts, but I think our episodes are, not super long for the most part. So people, I think, can find it easy to kind of burn through a bunch of them.
Yeah. And, they're pretty evergreen. If you want an escape into a different dark world, please.
And I have one more from Tarsamina. Great podcast. The hosts are wonderful, have a great dynamic, and are super funny. I love Rebecca and Jason. They are great hosts and are very engaged with their community. If you like, and that's why we drink, and we do.
We do.
And My Favorite Murder, and we do.
We do.
But you want more bite-sized episodes, this is the podcast for you. I love to see them cover the Baker Hotel in Mineral Wells, Texas.
We should do that.
Everything's bigger in Texas. That's the saying.
That's right. Maybe not our episodes, but yeah, I think that'd be a really fun thing to cover. I got an Instagram message from Harry Estrada. He said, I've been binging Ghost Town so hard. I started like a week and a half ago and have almost heard all the episodes. Keep up the good work. And I said, thank you. And he said, no problem. Wow. And that's another binger. And we so appreciate that. We're going to try to keep up with you guys. Anything you want to hear about, let us know. These are hard times. I've been kind of up and down. How have you been, Jason?
Well, I've been working on getting this new podcast gear together, which thank you to the patrons for helping make this happen. We're testing it out now, but this is new equipment. It's not super extravagant. It's actually relatively basic, but it is an upgrade from what we were. Yeah,
I've been working on that too. I've been very hard working on that also. So me too. Also me.
We've been setting up making it into a little studio, studio.
I've got this new space here, and we're going to try to make it as professional as we can without, spending without spending a lot. I'm going to keep drinking Coke Zeros in this space.
Maybe the ghost of Phil Spector will come in here and mix some of these episodes.
Wait, did I ever tell you I have a Phil Spector story?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll save it for.
Yeah, we'll save it. I'll tell it to you guys too at some point. But let me just say I have family ties to Phil Spector. Yeah. I love Gunplay.
And Regina Spektor, right?
Is she? No.
She's a singer.
Yeah, but is she related to Phil Spector?
I think it's related to you. I don't know. I thought that was your family tie.
Oh, no. If
that'd be
only.
Cool.
Although there is someone that we both know, Phil Spector's daughter. She did stuff at I.O.
Oh, yeah?
Remember her? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have played Words with Friends with her a couple of times.
Oh, interesting.
Lots of ties, baby. We're big Hollywood players.
I used to chat back in my YouTube days with Moses Farrow.
That's pretty okay.
Nice guy.
Okay.
Nice guy it's been a very, very long time, but he was a huge fan of my YouTube videos. So,
well.
Interesting. Oh, we're done name dropping.
Yeah, that's it. Welcome to Hollywood, baby.
I have a name to drop. John Burgess Sr., the mastermind, a very interesting person. Not very likable.
Ooh.
I guess it depends on who you are. It's not very likable.
Mean. Grumpy?
So this was his doing, and he had some accomplices, but this is his plan, his thing, his baby. Mm-hmm. He was born in 1922 in Hungary as János Burgess, or Janos. Not tilde. What do you go above the A?
Umlaut?
It's not an umlaut or tilde.
Oh.
He spent most of his years in Budapest.
Okay.
Kind of
cool.
Cool. Right. Pretty cool.
Pretty sexy.
In 1944, Germans occupied Budapest. He enlisted in the Royal Hungarian Army, and he was in a fighter plane against the Russians. And according to him,
Mm-hmm.
This is according to Burgess. I don't know how true any of this is, but it's questionable how much of it is true or not, but for the sake of the story, this is true.
Okay.
He was between 1944 and 1955 a POW.
Ooh.
Yes. And he was captured by the Russians, was in a gulag, released, sent back to Hungary. He bounced back nicely, though. He met his first wife, Elizabeth. That wasn't her name. She changed it to Elizabeth, but it was close to Elizabeth.
Okay.
They settled in Fresno, California.
Mm-hmm.
Had 2 sons, John Jr. and Jimmy.
Just basic American names. We're just normals.
They went on to make Carl's Jr. and what's Jimmy's?
Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's, yeah. He went on to make Jimmy John's and
Moguls.
Carl's Jr. Yeah.
He birthed moguls.
Yeah.
Good.
We're not going to talk
going.
about that, though.
Okay, but I'm hungry.
So John Burgess Sr., he learned initially how to install sprinkling systems, opened his landscape business. He was tyrannical and abusive. Elizabeth divorced him.
You don't say.
Yeah, hard to believe. So Elizabeth divorced him in 1973, but she opted to stay in a trailer or some kind of small home close by to be near her sons.
Okay.
This is something I found going a little bit deeper. In July 1975, she disappeared. Car still in the driveway.
Uh-oh.
Her purse still in her trailer.
No good.
3 days later, her body was discovered in a field near the house.
Oh.
So they did an autopsy, a lot of alcohol and Valium. Police detectives say suicide. John Burgess Sr. had her remains cremated, then took her ashes and just threw them up in the air in front of the yard in front of her sons as kind of like, see, this is your mother.
Great
Whatever.
guy. Whoa. That
Heck of a guy.
is real dark.
So that's a little separate, little bonusy,
Yeah.
true crimey thing. It's very possible that, she came
This is
here,
what this person's capable of.
but that either this person was instrumental in driving her there or he made that happen.
Well, I mean, I get like Valium alcohol, but you wouldn't be like miles away in a field.
Yeah, how did that happen?
So
You think the guy who would blow a 5-floor hole into a casino would do this? Is that what you're trying to say?
is he a prisoner of war? Is he a PTSD?
He supposedly is one.
Oof.
Well, he is a prisoner of liking to gamble and spend money. Kind of going through a bunch of wives and girlfriends. I think his next girlfriend/wife was 18 at the time.
That's the perfect age to marry a psychopath.
That didn't last too long, and then he married somebody else. He opened up a restaurant, Villa Basque.
Villa Basque.
Yeah, so he opened it. He was relatively a successful person. Came back in like 1956, and was doing really well and stuff. So this is now we're in like the mid late 70s. Mm-hmm. But he loved to gamble,
Gambling man.
and he loved to gamble at Harvey's, and he was treated like, obviously spending money, you're treated like
Royalty.
you can't, like when you go to the Luxor, Rebecca, when you're
Me?
at the Luxor.
I go to Body Worlds at the Luxor?
Yeah, when you go there.
I am a queen. It's the only place that I am a queen.
Yes.
And I can be myself, finally.
So imagine that, but at Harvey's. But then the check started bouncing.
Uh-oh.
He was up to his ears in debt to the tune of $750,000 in 1980.
Whoa.
I don't want you to
VIPs to VIP police.
I don't want you to calculate for inflation because you'll say
No.
it's just $1 more now in today's day.
I'll never live that down.
No. As we know, he extorted the casino. Mm-hmm. And he also, P.S., he probably burned down his restaurant.
That's a PS?
That's a PS, yeah. So there's a lot of extortion in this dude's history. Yeah, I forgot to mention. There's so many things that I forgot to mention that it's in the list of things. It's like,
Yeah, he's just been paving the path of destruction up until this point.
Burgess and his 2 accomplices, they evaded police for about a year. But a tip came from John Burgess's son was dating this girl.
Ooh.
They broke up. She knew about what was happening. He's probably bragging. Hey,
Yeah.
my dad did this cool thing. Look how cool I am. I'm also
A monster.
yes.
Yeah.
And they broke up and she started dating a new dude.
Uh-huh.
She tells the new guy, I don't know if this was in retaliation or he just felt like telling her, he's like, yeah, that guy I dated, his dad's the one who blew that thing up. And either guy was kind of like, hey, you gotta tell somebody.
I'm a normal person now. You're dating a normal person now, and this is unacceptable.
So that's how he eventually got caught. And on August 15th, 1981, all three men were arrested. He was convicted of federal extortion, bombing charges in October 1982, sentenced to life in prison without parole. In 1996, he died at age 74 of liver cancer at the Southern Nevada Correctional Center. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the Harvey's bomb was the largest domestic bomb ever to explode in the United States until the bombing of the World Trade Center.
Whoa.
That's like pretty big.
That is pretty big.
Pretty big. And
it's such a large scope, too. Other bombs must be so small, or that, they're on moving vehicles, or they're in different parts of the world. Like from that bomb to the World Trade Center?
I'm surprised this wasn't more newsworthy. I mean, I wasn't there when the news was coming out, but it's just one of those things that, considering it's such, I don't know if like at the time bombings of buildings were compared as much as they obviously were in the last 20, 30 years. So maybe a little bit of that. But also it's a casino, but it wasn't in Las Vegas. I'm really speculating, but I know it's one of those things that I'm really surprised.
I know. I wonder if something else happened right around then that really overshadowed it.
Son wrote a book called Bombing Harvey's or something. I don't know, whatever was that.
Bombing Harvey's.
Something.
Jim, whatever his
Bombing Harvey's. Something. So I guess it's interesting. I mean, to have someone to share that information. I think his sons were also technically accessories, but they didn't serve any jail time or whatever. So,
yeah.
You get a book out of something that's...
Exactly. Hey, if you share unfortunate DNA with a complete asshole, you get a book. I'll give you a book deal. Yeah. I'm down for it. And I mean, the lesson is really just don't ever break up with your significant others because they will tell all your secrets.
Yeah. And also, gambling.
Okay.
Yeah. Gambling's wrong.
Gambling's wrong.
Gambling's wrong. That's a sin.
Bombs are wrong.
Yeah.
Under the eye of God.
Yes.
Don't open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Learn that the hard way.
Need a little humor with your murder?
Who doesn't, right?
Join us, Dustin,
Rex,
and Josh
on Evil Transgression.
Evil Transgression is a true crime comedy podcast that covers lesser-known cases that haven't been talked about a million times over.
From the most dangerous inmate
to the worst friends,
and even death by firing squad.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts,
Stitcher, Podbean,
and all of your favorite podcasting platforms.